We got some new features coming to your AirPods. Who doesn't like new AirPods features? What else could your AirPods do for you? Well, we've got 7 new features that have landed in iOS 26. I actually am running the iOS 26 beta, and the new beta is actually a lot more stable. So if you're interested in trying it out, now's the time to do so. Let's jump into the new features coming your way. This first one might be one of the strangest features I've ever heard in my entire life. Would you like to be using your AirPods as a camera remote? How do you do it? Well, you take the AirPod out of your ear, and then you shake it around like this, and you point, and then the camera will take it. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so here's how it works. You got to have the feature turned on, obviously, and then you have to get your AirPods out. They have to be connected to your phone, and then you put them in your ears. And once the feature has been turned on in your settings, all you need to do is just grab on that little AirPod stem, and then you press it. And as long as you have a camera app open, pressing and holding on the AirPod stem will take a photo or start a video recording. Not something I ever thought I would need. And it also means that you're always going to have your AirPods in when you're in a photo or a video. But okay, when you're finished, a second press and a hold gesture will stop the recording. If you have an Apple Watch, obviously you could already do this, but I know not everyone has Apple Watches. But, a lot of people have AirPods. It doesn't say here what generation AirPods this works on. I'm going to guess that means it's going to work on all of them, but it doesn't say. So it might only work on the newer AirPods, which, by the way, AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. I'm going to be making a video exclusively just on those. One of the best creations that Apple has ever made, hands down, for many reasons, which I will enumerate in a future video. Let's keep going here. Studio quality recording. Okay, now here we go. Here it talks about the actual AirPods models. The AirPods 4 and the AirPods Pro 2 now offer studio quality audio for interviews, podcasts, songs, videos, whatever. Apple says the feature can be used to record high-quality vocals on the go, with background sounds filtered out thanks to voice isolation, which actually does work quite well. And I would say the microphone voice quality on AirPods has reached a level where I would consider it to actually be acceptable in a lot of the scenarios that they call out here, because before it was complete doo-doo butter and you wouldn't want to actually do it. You can record higher quality audio when making videos or using your devices to do things like record a podcast with this new feature. Try not to record a podcast, especially not an audio podcast with AirPods. I mean, can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? No, definitely don't do it. Just trust me on that one. We also got improved call quality here. The H2 chip in the AirPods 4 and AirPods Pro 2 apparently bring more natural voice texture, okay, and clarity to iPhone calls, FaceTime calls, and CallKit-enabled apps like Zoom. So better voice quality, making your AirPods. This is one of the things I love about what Apple does, is they take something that you already own and they just make it better. There's a few other manufacturers out there that do this, and I always love when a manufacturer actually takes care of you and continuously makes their stuff better with firmware updates and software updates. And Apple's one of the best, obviously. Let's see here. Here is one I bet you didn't know that you needed, and the same goes for me. Have you ever fallen asleep with your AirPods in while you're listening to something? I don't do it a lot, but it definitely does happen from time to time, especially if I'm watching something on my iPad and I've stayed up way too late. I'll just wake up and my iPad will be like on my chest and one of my AirPods is still in my ears and the other one's in my bed and I have to search for it and find it. Well, apparently this software update, well, it's not going to fix the lost iPod problem, or AirPod problem, but it does do something pretty useful. If you're listening to anything on your AirPods while you're in bed and you're wearing the AirPods, if you fall asleep, which, how does it know? How does it know you're asleep? That's interesting. If you fall asleep, it will actually pause your media. And there's a pause media when falling asleep option that you can turn on. You'll find it in the AirPods setting after you connect your AirPods to your phone, but you'll need the new AirPods firmware and iOS 26 installed first. Now, by the way, you can't install the firmware manually, I don't think. I think you have to just wait for the firmware to install itself. So it may not work right away, even if you have iOS 26 installed. Just keep that in mind. In addition to saving your spot in an audiobook or podcast, that's useful. It will also preserve battery by turning your AirPods off so they're not running all night long. Pretty handy. Leave it to the geniuses in Cupertino to bring you new novel features for your AirPods. Also, we have keeping audio in your headphones. One I didn't know that I needed. So I have a CarPlay radio in my car. It's like an aftermarket one. And whenever I get into my car, it tries to transfer and hand off the audio from my AirPods to my car, which I literally never wanted to do. In fact, it turned off the Bluetooth connection between my CarPlay screen and my car because I don't want to play music or anything through my car speakers because my car speakers really suck, honestly. And whenever I get into my car, I have to unpause my music or whatever I'm listening to because it will try to transfer to my car and it doesn't work, and then whatever I'm listening to stops. Well, apparently, Apple's going to be fixing this with iOS 26. There's a new keep audio in headphones option that prevents audio from switching to your car's Bluetooth speakers when you're listening to something on your AirPods. So you get into your car, you're vibing, you get into your car, and instead of it pausing or handing it off to your car speakers, which sometimes are way too loud, it will just keep playing through your AirPods. Another super handy feature. Again, all this stuff is in iOS 26, which you can install the beta right now. I think they just released beta 2. I'm not sure which beta it is, but there was a new beta that just came out, and it's way more stable. Last but not least, another useful feature. Apple is improving charging with iOS 26. The AirPods charging case will now more clearly indicate its charging status. How many times have you taken your AirPods out of your ears, put them in your AirPods case, only to discover that your AirPods case is dead? You'll see reminders now when it's time to charge your AirPods, so you're less likely to run out of battery. I don't know if they mean the AirPods themselves or the case, but that little light that's on the AirPods case, it's now going to have different blinking, or I should say illumination modes to communicate the charging status of your case. So there will be a pulsing amber light when they're charging your AirPods, a dark amber light to let you know that it's time for a charge because the battery is getting low. And then there will be a green light when your AirPods are fully charged. So I guess if you get the amber light, that's how you know, the dark amber light, that the battery on your AirPods case is getting low so that you know to go and charge it. You know, strangely, my AirPods 4 case doesn't work as well with MagSafe as my AirPods 3 case did, which I'm not thrilled about. And I don't know if that's an issue with my case or if that's just the case for all the AirPods cases. All of these features, again, are available in iOS 26 if you have installed it. I'm going to wrap it up there. My name is Airphone Elijah. Gadget Hunter. I'll see you guys next time.